and welcome to the Golden Hour and the Manifest to Live Life Golden Show. I am Golden Duffy, your host, and today we're talking about harnessing your own energy. So what does that even mean? You know, if you're walking around and you're feeling exhausted and you're feeling tired all the time and you're not really excited about life, you're not vibrating at a high level. You're not sending a high level signal to the orchestration of the universe. You're actually just kind of sending the same signal over and over again. So you're not really aligning with the energy that could potentially be infinite for you. So we are connected to this infinite stream of energy. So we should always have energy. We should always feel energetic. We should always feel excited. We should always feel that way, but we don't because of all these different factors. So I'm going to give you all of the factors, all the ways that you give your energy away and possibly deplete yourself from a very strong energetic field that is full of, hold on, my camera is kind of dirty. I'm going to wash it off. Okay. That seems a little bit better. Okay. So all the ways that we give energy away, all the ways that we waste energy, all the ways that we don't allow the harnessing of our own energy because we're hyper concerned about others and sticking our nose in where it doesn't belong. And we're doing all these different things that we think makes us feel fulfilled and purposeful. But in the long run really ends up making us feeling resentful and out of energy. Our gas tank gets really low. So, one of the main components of this is figuring out how do you fill yourself back up with energy and how do you harness this infinite stream of energy, in a life that might be busy, a life that might feel like you don't really have time for much else. I'm going to help you to get some of your time back today. And I'm going to share with you the exact ways that you can instill this energy into your life by letting go of some things that are really not serving you. So hopefully you'll get some light bulbs as I go through this list of ways that you deplete your energy field. Okay, so these are and the idea for this I've shared before, the Celestine Prophecy. I think it's one of the best books I've ever read on the manipulation in the energy field between us as people in our relationships. And that mostly comes that the foundation of that comes from whatever you grew up with and how your parents or the people that were raising you manipulated energy, pulled energy from you, or you started to figure out how to pull energy from them, because no one was harnessing their own energy unless you had parents that were super awake and evolved. Many times we're just, we're working from traumas, we're working from wounds. And so we aren't really producing. We aren't producing in the most gratifying way. We're actually producing in ways that makes us all kind of run at half power or a way less power than we could be. All right. So some of the ways that you give your energy away, the download that I got about this was really interesting. And it started off with unforgiveness. So the unforgiveness that you feel for your parents, the unforgiveness you feel towards others, the unforgiveness you feel for yourself. And then there's unforgiveness that you feel for life. So that's like the things that didn't work out in your life. So you kind of have a grudge against life. You have a belief against life that life didn't go the way you planned, and life never goes the way you planned. So that unforgiveness actually creates an energetic field with energy that doesn't allow it to be at a high vibration. It's always clouding or shadowing your vibration because it's running underneath. So whether you think about it a lot or you never think about it, or you think about it sometimes, it doesn't matter. It's running underneath. So if you feel triggered in conversations, or you think about a person and you get super triggered, that means you've got some work and some healing to do on that forgiveness factor. Big one is yourself. Huge one is yourself. Because if you can't forgive yourself for the things that you have done in your life or not done in your life, you will never be able to grow past that transgression, whatever that transgression was, and it will hold you back. It will hold you in a vibration of whatever that transgression was. So it's important to clean that stuff up. It also keeps you from self-love. And the self-love is where it's all at, because love is the highest vibration. And self-love allows you to get into gratitude and appreciation for who you are and for where you're going. So it's kind of like living in the past. Unforgiveness is very much about living in the past. So how do you move past that? How do you forgive when you don't feel like forgiving? Or how do you forgive when people didn't say they were sorry? Or how do you forgive a life that is so much less than what you had planned or what you were excited about? The ways to do this is simply going within. It's deciding, first of all. Once you make a decision that you're going to forgive someone, things are going to come into your experience that are going to allow you to do that. So you'll attract books, you'll attract podcasts, you'll attract people, maybe somebody in the profession of healing work. You'll attract what you need to get that healing work done once you decide. Once you decide that you're going to do it and decide that it's possible, then you start activating different energy. You start sending a different signal. So then it becomes an internal landscape situation where you're going within and you're asking yourself, what do you need to heal in order to move past this and forgive? So you have to look at what the feelings are. Are they abandonment? Are they, disrespect? Are they, real traumas and tragedies that people did to you? Was there some responsibility that you had in some of these things? Like, I think it's really funny. I saw this story the other day on Facebook, and it was about a woman who was telling a story about her teenager, and her teenager was going on vacation with her friends, and her husband gave the teenager $200 spending money to go and spend how she liked and to take care of herself, that, get her food, whatever she needed to do because she was with another family. And suddenly after the daughter left, they saw that there was credit card purchases on their credit card for food. And, they talked to her that night and they were like, we gave you money. What happened? And she was like, oh, I thought that money was for me to get things, not for food. So there was a miscommunication there. And the mom was so upset. And I thought, but you let her do that. You gave her a credit card, whether it was, an understanding of just for emergencies. And she was so mad that her daughter thought that she always needed to pay for her food or something. It was so crazy. It was like, where are you giving away your power by saying that that person is doing it to you, but you're allowing it to happen? That's a big one. That's a really big one. So where are you giving your power away, saying that somebody's doing something to you, but the truth is you're allowing it to happen? You're the one who's not putting an end to it. They wouldn't be able to do it to you if you didn't allow it. So this is about taking self-responsibility for some of the things that maybe you're not happy about. Okay, people pleasing. People pleasing is a big one, a big way that we give our energy away. I'm going to put people pleasing in the same basket as inserting yourself. Now, I do this and I'm really working on it. I have ideas, I have thoughts about things that I could do for somebody, or that I want to say to somebody, or that I want to share with somebody. And oftentimes now, not before, but now that I'm a little more mature and I've kind of figured out that I need to stop trying to fix everybody, right? Because nobody needs fixing. I'll take a step back instead, and I'll look for signs from the universe that confirm that I need to do it first, instead of it just being this, because that's the monkey mind, right? The monkey mind's trying to run us all around town, fixing everybody else's problems. So people pleasing and inserting yourself. So that means that somebody's got an issue and you take it on. You take it on, you try to fix it. You become hyper responsible for other people's situations and circumstances. And the problem with that is you disempower them. So then their manifesting powers are off because their desire is not strong, because you're fixing everything, right? So then you're not helping them to see evidence of how powerful they are. You're actually making them codependent on you, right? And then inserting yourself in other people's problems means that your problems or your challenges in life become bigger and bigger and bigger because you're taking on everybody else's. Okay, so this is a depletion of energy at one of the biggest degrees. Worrying is such an incredible waste of energy. And I get it, especially as a mom. I think as mothers, we've actually been taught to worry by other mothers, right? And, we love our kids so much. We love our family so much that it's easy to go into this worry state. But this is what worrying is. Worrying is focusing on what you don't want to happen. And it's actually sending a signal to what you don't want to happen. So when you tell your kids to be careful, when you tell them that there's bad things in the world, when you do all of that, you are encompassing all of the negativity and you're actually putting it in their lap. So I know we want to, we want to prepare our kids, but what do we want to prepare our kids for? The worst or the best, right? So my secret to that has been wrapping my family in angels. I've recently been wrapping them in this violet light. If you're into Saint Germain, I kind of wrap them in this violet light and see them as healthy and whole and doing well and safe and secure and at a high vibration. Worrying will drop their vibration as well as yours, and it will deplete your energy field. um, Allowing things in your life that are out of alignment. So if there's something that you want to do and accomplish in your life, but there's things in the way that are distracting you from that. So an example would be, I want to get up and I want to start working out. I want to feel my best. I want to be physical. I want to gain muscle. I want to, I want to thrive in life. But then every night you're having 3 or 4 glasses of wine, and that's messing up your gym time. So that's out of alignment with what you say you want to do and who you say you want to be. I was going to give a money example. So a money example would be saying, I am abundant. I am thriving. I am living this life of, awareness of the riches that surround me. But then you're getting really upset when a bill comes, right? Or freaking out when you have to pay for something, right? That's misalignment. It's misalignment, and it won't allow you to really draw in a very strong conduction from the universe to what you're looking to create. Confusion. I put a post up on Facebook yesterday of confusion. If you don't follow me, my page is Goldyn Duffy, or Live Life Goldyn, Goldyn, at Instagram. And confusion always leads to failure. And I've noticed that in my life a long time ago. I was thinking about this recently. I had a job. I was just recently doing something for my husband's company that is beyond my scope of what I'm used to doing. We're doing policies and procedures, books and handbooks, and I have to know the difference and I have to create them. And it's, it's a lot. It's a lot. So I was kind of in this confused place the other day, and it wasn't feeling good, and I wasn't able to complete the project because I was in this confused place. And it made me think about this time I was working for this psychotherapist when I was younger. And I used to do dictating for him. So I would listen. I did this a lot. I'm actually a very pretty fast typist. So I used to just listen to his call, or his it was like his breakdown of what the client was going through, like his notes, and I would type it. So I worked for this really great woman, and I really, really liked her, but she wanted me to do this thing with filing. And I do not like filing. I feel like filing is just one of the most boringest things you could do. So she took me off the project one day, the dictating for one day, and she wanted me to go through these files. Actually, this actually led to me quitting the job because I didn't like it so much. So she had all these files, and I don't remember what the job was, but I was supposed to do something with all these old files and organize them in a certain way. And I had no clue what I was doing. I was so confused. And for whatever reason, when she talked to me about it, I just couldn't grasp it. So she would leave for the day and I would be there for hours having no idea what to do. So that led to me quitting. So confusion leads to failure. Confusion also, what it does is it blocks the flow of your wisdom channel. So you can't actually access the guidance that you would have if you weren't sitting there in confusion. So if you're feeling confused, keep this in mind. Confusion is part of that mind's way of keeping you safe and the same. And it's keeping you in a neural habit, a neural loop that won't let you access the wisdom and figure it out. So what I love to do, and this is what I did the next day, sometimes you need to walk away from something and come back the next day. I'm really good at doing that if it's not flowing, because the path of least resistance is if it's flowing, and if it's not flowing, then we're going to put it away for the day, especially if you're having like computer problems or anything like that. Your best bet is to go, okay, I'm going to put this away for now. I'm going to come back to it when I have a fresh attitude, when I have a fresh vibration, and when I'm ready to tackle it. In the meantime, that space between when you left the project and you come back to the project is the space to start talking yourself out of the confusion by saying, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to figure this out because I believe in myself. I know that I have access to infinite intelligence. So all I have to do is just come back at it in a different perspective and say, I'm figuring this out, and let go of the confusion that's causing the trouble. And you will. And yesterday I went back to the project and I absolutely figured it out, and I completed it within, I don't know, maybe an hour, hour and a half. So it's done, because I came at it with a different attitude and I came at it in a different perspective. And that really serves you. It will always serve you. Confusion also drains you because it puts you in a level of misery between what you want and where you are. So, you're here and you want to be here, but you're confused and you don't know how to get here. So it really puts you in this level of misery because you're not going after what you want. It's like, I don't know what to do. When you say the words or feel the words or say the words to other people, I don't know what to do. That I don't know what to do is on a vibration really far away from what to do. So you've got to close that gap by saying, I'm figuring this out. I'm figuring this out. I'm getting in solution mode and I'm figuring this out. And that's how it's done. Okay, procrastination, that's another thing. Procrastination is the same thing as the confusion piece, same vibration. When you're procrastinating from doing things, you're keeping yourself in a low level of misery. You're also piling things on top of yourself because your list just gets longer and longer every day. And then it just feels like crap, right? I call that the irritation list. A while ago, I had read this book. I think it was Jack Canfield. I can't remember what book it was, but he said, work on your irritation list every day. So like choose something off your list that irritates you every day and go do it. Most of the time, these little tiny activities are 5 minutes, but you have wasted hours of thoughts about it, hours of worry about it, hours of I should do that. Instead, if you just go do it, a lot of times it's 5 minutes and then it's off your mental checklist, and it leads you to having more energy because you're not wasting energy thinking about what you should be doing. Here's a big one: resistance. Resistance is a huge energy sucker. And that means you're in resistance to what's going on in life. So something happens, it's not optimal, you're fighting it, you're mad about it, you're telling everybody how unjust it is, and you're not accepting what's happening. Anytime you're not accepting what's happening, guess what? The solution is really far from you because you're living you're even underneath the problem. You're not even in the problem. You're underneath the problem because you're not even accepting it as a challenge to be figured out. So resistance is a big one. Allowing a lot of things in your experience that you don't like. So I was thinking about this today and how many people give a lot of their attention and a lot of their energy to the political forum or to like what's going on in the news. Like my Facebook feed, unfortunately, I see a lot of it on my Facebook feed. And when you give your attention to that, right, when you pay attention, you're giving energy to it. So how much of that of your energy is being zapped by things that you feel powerless against, right? The state of the world. If you don't feel good about the state of the world, how are you going to create a world that you feel good about, right? Unless you're going out there and you're doing something about it, fussing and fighting over it is not going to help it. It's never going to help it because you're in the vibration of not having a way to fix it or create something different. Your desire is strong. Your desire is strong when you're, up against something that you don't like. That's true. But as long as you stay in the desire of what you don't like, it is really hard to access what you do like. And when you stay in the energy of what you don't like happening, you are depleting energy every single day, every single day. Not doing things because you don't feel like it. That is a huge energy sucker. And I'll tell you why. Because every day that you want to do something and you tell yourself that you don't feel like it. Now I know there's like this little rebel inside of us. I know that. I have a little rebel myself, right? But the little rebel becomes very powerful when it's the shitty committee. It's the same energy, right? The shitty committee. It becomes very powerful when you continually give it power by leaning into, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it, right? Like if I woke up every single day and I thought about going to the gym, right? If I thought, I don't, do I want to go to the gym today? If I had that thought, 9 times out of 10, I probably wouldn't go to the gym. So it's not about feeling like it. It's about doing something that's going to give you the results of who you say you want to be. So it's just doing it. It's not thinking about it. And that's the biggest main component to doing things that you don't feel like doing it. Don't love Nike, but I do love that. Just do it. Just do it. Just go do it. And I've thought about that recently. I kind of gave into some sugar habits that I have sometimes, and I realized recently that it's stress. Like when I'm stressed or when I'm home and I'm bored and I'm not really doing things that are jazzing me, I will turn to some sugar or some chips. I love chips as well. So I realized the other day, like, what if I didn't do that? What if I distracted myself with a piece of gum? Or what if I distracted myself with a walk outside or something else? And I realized that doing those little things of distraction keep me from doing the things that make me beat myself up later for. Really important. All right, being complacent. So that means sending the same energy every day to the same thing, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results is the definition of insanity. So that complacency, what are we doing? Are we completely uninspired in our lives? How can we find a way to be inspired? Can we listen to something? Can we read something? Can we change our routines? You know, if you're going to work every day and you're coming home and just putting on the TV and sitting, I get it. I totally get it. We love to do that. But we recently just came back from a business seminar. We were in Arizona over the weekend, and I'm so grateful that these business seminars that we've been taking, because we want to get better, we want to improve, we want to expand and grow our potentials here. We're very interested in doing that. And we've aligned with a company that we believe we can do that with, and that will teach us what we need to do to get to the next level of where we'd like to go. And I'm so grateful that it is in Arizona, right near my granddaughter. So I get some Gigi time, and it's the best. It's absolutely the best. We have so much fun together, and they're just these little pockets of a half a day, but they mean so much to me. I've been able to do that every month for a while, and it feels so good. But they were talking about inspiring. Like, what is inspiring you? Are you an inspiration? Because if you're not an inspiration, how are people around you going to be an inspiration as well? How are you going to vibrate? How are you going to attract the inspiration around you if you were feeling so uninspired? And we came home and we just decided, like, no more TV at night. We're not doing TV at night. You know, it's such a thing to like find a show. And one of our shows just ended, and so we're between shows, so it's good timing. And we bought a bunch of books. We bought 3 Feet from Gold, which is actually part of the Napoleon Hill thing. They took Napoleon Hill's teachings and put it in this book that actually is really good. And my husband bought Start with Your Why, which is Simon Sinek, I believe. And we're just going to read at night. We're going to read. We're going to go to bed a little bit earlier. That's going to serve us so much. It's going to serve so much more of what we say we want to be versus who we're being, which is kind of complacent at night and procrastinating and the whole thing. So if you want to better yourself, you have to do the things and put the things in place. Doing that, also sitting and watching TV every night, drinking alcohol, eating junk food, all of that stuff is going to deplete your energy field as well, along with like the sugar and the bad habits that are going to, not cause your body to work in an optimal way. Gossiping is a real depletion of energy. And I recently heard something that really made me think about it. When you're talking about somebody, you are sending the same energy to yourself. So the law of circulation, the law of karma, right? When you are putting energy out in the world, it comes back to you. Law of attraction, right? What you send out is what you get back. So keep that in mind. I have been a gossiper in my previous life, I guess we call it. My family was super into it. My gram, she loved a good gossip session, but it doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve the overall vibration of what you're looking to create. And it sends out a vibration of meanness. So if people are being mean to you, if people are gossiping about you, I would take a look at what you're doing, because it absolutely is the law of circulation and the law of karma at play. Being too busy, too social, so you're just like exhausting yourself and you're not filling yourself back up. Again, we're going to talk about right after this, we're going to talk about the ways that we fill our energy back up so that we've got that replenishment and we've got the extra energy to do the things that really are meaningful to us. So being too busy, too social, even if you are a person who's super social and you love to be out there and you love to be with people, eventually you're going to start feeling the depletion of not taking care of yourself or not taking care of your emotions. Because if you're ignoring your emotions and you're always running and running and running, that's going to actually show up in your life experience in detrimental ways. Trying to avoid emotions or fears. This is when we kind of gloss around everything and we put things under the rug. Trying to avoid emotions and fears that you're feeling is exhausting, because fears are false evidence appearing real. So if you don't look at them, they become bigger and bigger and bigger, right? It's like that monster under the bed or the monster in the closet. So once you look at the fears and you really face them, they often dissipate. You often see that they weren't really about anything. So, it's looking at it and going like, what's the worst thing that could happen? And how do I focus in a direction? How do I let that go and focus in the direction of what I really want? Doing too much for others. I talked about that. That's a big one. Disempowers them and messes up their manifestation game. Okay. Pushing energy and being desperate. So the universe will never pressure, right? There's an ease and flow to life. We talked about this last week. If you didn't watch my show last week, it was so good. There was like 5 or 6 or 7 laws that I shared. One was the law of rhythm. Everything has a rhythm. Nature has a rhythm. Our seasons have a rhythm. Our weather has a rhythm. Everything has a rhythm. So when we get into the law of rhythm, we get into the ease and flow of life. This is the path of least resistance. This is where the energy field opens up to you. Now, if you're in the state of it's up to me, if it's to be, it's up to me, and I got to find a way to do this, and you're pushing and you're pressuring and you're in desperation, you're going to be exhausted, because you're not channeling from orchestration. You're not working with the universe on it. You haven't invited in this non-physical support to help you manifest what you're looking to manifest. So pushing energy, being desperate, feeling like, it doesn't mean that we're supposed to like sit around and do nothing. It really doesn't, because we want that activation of energy. We want inspired action, right? What it does mean is that when it starts to feel hard, that's our cue to take a step back, and to let the energy show you the next place to go. Watch the energy field, watch where it tells you to go next. There's so many times that we are worrying and fussing and fretting over things we don't have enough information about yet, or over things that we're projecting that are like the worst thing is going to happen. So if we can just take a step back, right? This is emotional intelligence, it's emotional maturity, taking a step back and saying, I'm going to sit back. I'm not waiting. It's very important to understand the difference of this. I'm not waiting. I am literally putting myself in receiving mode of the information that I need to know what the next steps are. Because if you're trying to figure it out too soon, that's where you end up confused. That's where you end up in this monkey mind, right? That ping pong game where you can't access the information that you would access if you take a little step back. And that's receiving mode. That's being in receiving mode. So I'm going to share how we re-energize, but first I want to talk about, because this is the number one way to re-energize. I'm going to talk about I did not put the link up here. I could have done that for you. I will do that next week, I promise. But for now, you can look this up. Let me see if I can just type it in. Okay, I'm not going to figure that out right now. M21 Revolution is on Facebook. It's a group on Facebook. It is run by myself and my partner, Jess Gumkowski. She is a triathlete. She's a yogi. She is doing crazy retreats and traveling all over the world right now. We have run M21 for the past 5 or 6 years. And about 2 years ago, we decided we were doing 21-day challenges every 21 days for years. We decided that we wanted to stop doing it that way. We were charging a $21 subscription. And we just decided we wanted to move on to other things. So we have the group, it's there, it's got tons of videos in it, it's got tons of meditations in there. And we're going to run a 21-day challenge starting March 17th, a new challenge. It's donation based. We're asking for $50 because, or you can do whatever you want, but it's to have that skin in the game so that you commit and actually follow through with it. $50 feels like a good, you could do $100 if you need to do $100. You could do $200. Do whatever feels right for you. And so the exchange of value is good, because when we have that exchange of value, it's really important. It actually solidifies your success, that exchange of value. So we'll post meditations every day. We'll do a video once a week. We do a post twice a day. So it really keeps you engaged, and it keeps you thinking about things, and it keeps you in the energy of meditation, which is like accountability, that every single day I'm going to sit down and for 15 minutes, I'm going to quiet my mind. When you do this, you create a space, you move into higher states of consciousness, and you have access to new information. And this changes everything. I'm telling you. So re-energizing is really connecting with what feels good to you. So I want you to think about something when it comes to re-energizing, when it comes to harnessing your own energy field. I want you to consider this in everything you do every day. Okay. What is your ROI? I've been learning all these different acronyms, and this came to me, return on investment. So if you're spending, let's say you spend 30 minutes to an hour of scrolling social media, I would like you to know, what is your return on investment for doing that? If you are watching something on TV, what is your return on investment? So for my husband and I, we really like to watch shows that are funny. So our return on investment is laughter, it's lightheartedness, it's connection between us, right? What is your return on investment for everything you're doing? So if you're drinking alcohol every night, is there a return on that investment? You're spending money on that. You're ingesting it. Are you, maybe the relaxation part of that is your return on investment. But if the return on investment turns into, well, it kind of messes up my sleep and it makes me feel like crap in the morning and it lowers my vibration, that relaxation probably isn't as high of a return as the detriment that you are causing. So look at everything in your life and say, what is the return on this investment? If I'm paying attention to politics, right, and I'm giving a lot of attention to what's going on right now in the government and in the world, what is my return on investment for doing that? Is it making me feel great? Is it, because there are people, I see a lot of people, it's making them feel great. I'm seeing some changes that I like personally. I don't like to get political. I'm not a political person. I actually believe that politics are a distraction and an illusion. So I'm very careful about that, like not giving too much attention or energy to that. So if you're getting a return on investment, paying attention to politics, that's great. Great. If you're not, maybe cut some of it out. Maybe cut all of it out, right? Everybody says, oh, I want to be informed. Informed about what? The bad news that's going on in the world? Is that making you feel good? Is that raising your vibration? Are you doing something about it if you don't like it? If not, you got a really low return on investment in that. Let's see. Okay. Exercise. Exercise is always going to be one of the best things you can do for yourself, because one, there's a zillion studies that you could look at on that. But for me, it's the mental part of it. It's the raising of the hormones. It's the way my body feels after I do it. Do I want to do it? I don't know. I think that I've gotten to the point where I take myself past it so much to the benefit of it that it's not even a want. It's what I do. And that's, you get yourself into that with exercise and you will become an exerciser. Like that will become your experience. And if you want to thrive as you get older, I've seen so many older people that are just limping around and not thriving, and they're overweight and they don't feel good. Talk about a suck of energy. If you are heavy, right? obese, heavy, 20, 30 pounds overweight, that is going to draw on your energy field. That is going to make you feel worse and worse and worse. When you start something, all you really have to do is start walking. Now, I'm really into weight training right now. I think it has completely changed my body and what my body does with the food that I put in there, which is a great thing as you get old, especially as you get older. But all you have to do is start walking 20, 30 minutes a day. The other thing that walking does for you is it moves you forward. So it tells your entire being, it also tells your universal orchestration connection, I'm moving forward in life. If you do it in nature, even better, a ton better, because then you're actually setting your vibration to the vibration of nature and trees and the vibration of the earth. You're going to raise your vibration even more. So, wow, huge bang for your buck. Huge bang for your buck. I've gotten out of the habit with winter, not that it's cold here, but it's a little chilly. And I've gotten out of the habit. And I said today, 2:30 is going to be my time to get out into the canyon and go for a walk and be with the birds and allow myself to be in receiving mode, because that's also what you're doing. When you're in a state of exercise, you are in receiving mode because you are focused on something other than your mind, right? If you can shut the mind down, it's really important to do that when you exercise. Self-care, anything that feels like self-care to you. So it could be a bath, it could be reading, it could be relaxing, it could be getting your nails done, getting your hair done, anything that tells yourself that you're taking care of yourself. It could be healthy food, eating healthy food, right? Fruits, vegetables, the things that are alive. Not eating processed food is self-care, not eating processed food. Drinking lots of water. Man, I drink a ton of water. I drink probably, this is a 40-ounce bottle. I love Walla, by the way. They're awesome. This is got a straw in it, which I love, and it closes, and then this kind of seals it. So I love this thing. 40-ounce bottle. I think they're $40. You can get them at REI, Whole Foods, and you can order it from the Awala site, Owala. I probably drink 4 of these a day. So always drink it. Because if you're dehydrated, guess what? You're depleting energy by being dehydrated. You probably have headaches. You probably don't feel a lot of the things, the problems that you have are probably dehydration if you're not drinking enough. So flushing the system is so important, right? Keeping ourselves hydrated. It also helps you. Everyone always comments how young I look. And I really believe that that's because I committed to drinking water. I think in my 20s, I started this habit. So I'm always hydrated. Think about it. If your body is not hydrated, it's going to shrivel up like a raisin. And that's why you get wrinkles. So if you don't do it for anything, do it for that so you can stay young. Weekend getaways. That's actually one of my favorite things to do. My husband and I do this a lot because we run his business. Now I'm totally fully involved. And so we're super busy all the time, but we can manage a Friday to Monday situation. And it just re-energizes us. It reconnects our commitment to each other. Like we're able to be together, be alone, have time together. And we get to see some cool places. We usually go in California somewhere that we've never been before. And it's a lot of fun. And yes, it does cost money. But again, what's the return on investment? A strong, solid, loving, happy marriage. That's the return on investment there. So completely worth it. And you can do it in less expensive ways if you are creative. Listening to inspiring stuff, nights out with energizing people. Yes, people that inspire you. Who are you hanging around with? Guess what? You become the 5 people that you hang out with the most. So if your friends are broke and down and sad and drinking and not doing the things that you want to become, you got to limit your time with them and find some new people. And I will tell you, there may be some time that you're going to have an interruption in your relationships with that. And you may be alone for a little while, but being alone is really good. It really is good for you because you learn how to not be based on circumstances, your happiness. You learn how to become a self-soother. You learn how to become a person who can be alone and still be happy, because you're never alone. I said listening to inspiring stuff. Here you are. If you're listening to this, awesome. I have almost, 300 episodes. I'm coming up on my 3-year anniversary. I was going to check the date of that, of when I actually started these shows, not with E360 TV, but my podcast YouTube channel has been up for 3 years. And I have done an episode every week for 3 years. I think there's probably been less than 10 times that I ran a rerun because this show means so much to me. And connecting with people and sharing this information is a powerful mission. Finding something that is really fulfilling to you is really important. So I went to this seminar a couple of years ago. It was the Human Consciousness Seminar in San Diego. And they had they had a whole bunch of speakers, and some were good and some were not so good. And there was this guy, and he was not that good. He was not good. I did not care for him. I think we ended up walking out before it was over, but I can't explain to you. He just wasn't a great speaker. I wasn't jiving with what he was saying, but he said this one thing, and it kind of bugged me that he got in because I still think about this to this day. He's the only speaker that I still think about to this day. He said, it is our human condition to need to feel useful. We have a need to feel useful. When we feel useful, that's when we thrive. And that really hit me because, being a stay-at-home mom, uh, getting my kid, raising my kids, being home a lot, being on my own, there were many times, and even today, sometimes when I don't feel useful. And those are the times that I get down. That's when your mental energy really takes a toll. When you deplete your mental energy because you don't feel like you matter, you don't feel like anything you're doing in the world really matters. So finding a way to be useful and feeling fulfilled is one of the greatest ways that you can feel energized. I had a week where the beginning of the week. So we got back Tuesday from Arizona, and then the beginning of the week, I was doing a lot of admin stuff, a lot of computer stuff, which I don't love. So I'm doing things that I don't really love. And then I'm like, does it really matter? But these things do matter. They really do. And so as I'm doing all this computer work and stuff, I'm home. So it's like isolating. And this morning I woke up. And so I was getting a little down like yesterday, and I'm very aware of my mind. So become really aware of your mind, because your mind's going to go, this sucks. And you're not doing anything. And you're just sitting in your house and you don't have friends or whatever your mind does to you. Right. When you do that and you can see it and you can become the observer. One of my favorite books that I ever read about the mind was Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. One of my favorite books. I don't agree with everything he says, but I do agree with this. And this is what really changed it for me. Become an observer of your mind. So don't believe everything the mind tells you, because remember, you got the shitty committee in there and you don't want to believe what they're saying. So become an observer. So I'm observing my mind yesterday, and I'm shifting it continually to gratitude. Well, this is awesome right now that you have this time, because you're getting ready to do some good stuff, and you're going to be busy soon. So it's great that you have this time. And I'm writing right now. I'm actually 130 pages into a romance novel. Hello. So I have the time to do this, which is awesome. So I kept doing that. This morning I woke up completely different person. This morning I woke up excited. I knew I was doing the show today. I feel fulfilled. I feel purposeful when I do this show. When I know that there's people out there and they tell me all the time that this is really affecting them and making their life better, it feels really good. Do I need that? I don't know. As human beings, I think that we do need that encouragement. I think we do need that support. I think that it helps us to know that it's a confirmation that we're on the right path and that we're making a difference. And I think that's important to all of us. I think as a society, as we are in relationships with people, I think that's important. If it's not important to you, then maybe you could prove me wrong. But if you do struggle mentally, that's a lot of it. We look at so many of like our moms where they get empty nested and their kids are gone and they plummet, right? Leanne Morgan, she's a hilarious comedian. She's one of my favorite comedians. She's Southern. She talks about how she took to the bed when her kids left, and she didn't want to get out of bed. Right now, this didn't happen to me. Now I still have kids at home, but probably will be empty nested. And I have really filled up my life as they stopped needing me. I've been able to fill up my life in a lot of different ways. So what fulfills you? What excites you? Is there anything that you haven't done that you wanted to do? I recently just this morning signed up for an interior design certification course, and I'm excited and I'm terrified and I'm excited. And I just keep leaning into that excitement of going back to school at age 52. Luckily, it's a school and not a college, so I don't have to do that. But I'm excited. Like I feel excited about learning new things. So where is that growing edge for you? What do you need to learn? How do you need to grow right now in order to feel like, okay, I'm living my life. I'm thriving. I'm doing stuff that's inspiring to me. Let's see. Reading inspiring stuff. I just gave you guys a couple of books. Celestine Prophecy is one of my favorites. Lynn Grabhorn. What was the name of that one? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking. That was one of my favorite books I ever read. I'll come back to that one. E Squared by Pam Grout. Really good book. I've shared that one with so many. I'm reading 3 Feet from Gold right now. My husband's reading Starting with Your Why. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. Wayne Dyer. Anything by Wayne Dyer is fantastic. Uh, I'll come back to that other one. Jeez. Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting. Good Lord. That might be a good one. That's a good segue right now. Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting. And then we have all my books, which I will share with you. I actually created some QR codes. Let's see if we can find those. Some QR codes because they were kind of hard to find. So first QR code I'm going to share with you right now is the Support the Show QR code. So this is a way that you can donate $5, $10, $20. I think there's $100 where you could support the show because of the exchange of value, right? The return on investment that you get just from listening to the show, maybe getting a little idea or getting a little shift in your energy. There is an energy exchange on here just from like listening to this because it's leading edge information. I'm channeling information that allows you to remember who you are and remember that you are powerful. So this little QR code, if you just scan your camera phone over it, here, I'll show you. In case you don't know how a QR code works, you scan your phone over it and a little link comes up and it says, buy me a coffee. And the link pops up. I've actually never tried this and I probably should. And here you go. You can become a member of Live Life Goldyn's team here. Yeah. And I do pay to do the show. So it helps to support the show and it helps the show to stay ad free, which I'm very interested in. Okay. So let's hide this from the stream. All right. So then we have our journal. My journal is right here. It is, God, the review I just got on this was amazing. Mindful Manifestation Secrets Daily Guide and Journal. You need the QR code for this one because Amazon has buried this for some reason. You can also email me livelifegolden@gmail, Goldyn, and I will send you the link if you can't find it. But this is the journal. It's a hardcover. It's really, really good. It's got 100 pages. This is about really living at a high vibration, and it's got writing prompts to help you heal as well. I wonder what that is. Oh, here we go. Mindful Manifestation Secrets. This is my first book. Oop. There's the QR code for Mindful Manifestation Secrets. This is a super short read, but it'll give you all the science of creating, and it gives you lots of examples of our life story and what we've done to manifest. Unfolding Soul is your spiritual book to manifesting, some messages that came through my dreams. That one's up there. I don't have a copy of that right now. I got to go grab it out of the box. And then if you didn't know, I wrote a parenting book, Quantum Speak for Parents. And I have a little chapter in there about taking care of your elderly parents as well. So these are all the ways that you can be inspired. You can add to your energy field. You can wake up. You can remember. You can actually create the energy of who you most want to be, which is a being, right? We have these human beings, but we are also a soul. So we've got this energetic connection that goes to this infinite intelligence stream that is infinitely energy. It's infinitely energy. That's what we are connected to. So as you step into this knowing and you get in receiving mode, you start meditating more, you start making peace with where you are. That's probably the most important thing, is to make peace. I'm going to put the Support the Show up in case you missed that. You can make peace with where you are by meditating, by letting go. So when you meditate, you're letting go. When you let go, you're actually putting yourself in a different vibrational space, a different vibrational venue. When you put yourself there, you're putting yourself in a different part of the field, the energetic field. So your energetic field is everything that's coming to you, right? Everything that you're experiencing, everything that's coming to you. So it's all the people, it's all the cars, it's all the experiences, it's the TV, it's the Facebook posts, it's the social media, it's all it's your boss, it's your mom, it's your mother-in-law, it's your kids, it's your spouse, your friends, your foes, your cousins, everything that's in your field. As these things are in your field and you're looking at them, you have moments, right? Moments, seconds to decide how you're going to feel about them. And then your thoughts that you pick up on from that feeling that was evoked determines what happens next. So that determines what's going to happen in your field next. So this is where the power comes in. This is where the energy comes in. So let's say you wake up in the morning and maybe you didn't sleep so good the night before. And the first thought you have is, I'm so tired. I had a day like this yesterday. I woke up and I was just like, I can't even believe I'm going to the gym. That was how I felt yesterday. We got back from traveling and there was a lot of energy and a lot of just thinking, a lot of processing. Whenever you're doing something to up level, there's a lot of processing going on. And I very easily could have skipped the gym, but I didn't think about it. I just got out of bed. So I was like, okay, if I continue on this road of how tired I am, I'm not going to thrive today. So I had to let that go, right? Oh, coffee. Coffee always helps me let that go. So I went downstairs, did what I need to do, got my coffee, had my little time to do my posts in the morning, and then off to the gym I went. Did not feel another shred of tiredness because I got out of the vibration of manifesting more feelings of being tired. My workout was great. It didn't affect me whatsoever because I shut it down in the beginning, because we've got those 16, 17 seconds, right? Then another thought's going to join it and another. And once you get up to 68 seconds and emotions are evoked, it's like this wave behind me, then you get momentum going. And then your body actually responds to what you're telling it. So as you keep saying, I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired, your body's like, okay, we're tired. Okay, we don't have any energy. So it's not going to make energy for you. It's going to keep depleting the energy because you keep telling it to deplete it. You keep telling it that you don't have enough, right? There's a science. There's a science behind this. It's absolutely true. So what can you do to convince yourself that you are infinite intelligence, that you have this expression of energy coming through you? And how can you draw more from it instead of giving it all away and allowing other people to have it? That's the question. And even giving that question to your relationships, what's your return on investment in your relationships? Do you have a lot of relationships where the energy is off balance, that you're the one that's giving all the time and they're taking all the time? That's why you're exhausted. If there's no return on investment, and if you have little kids, the return on investment is the hugs, the kisses, the I love yous. It's small, but it's there, right? So what is it? And then if you are around little kids, then you got to do other things to fill yourself up and take a little break from those little monkeys, because I have always sworn this. And this is a belief, right? So it happens that these kids just siphon energy from us. But the interesting thing is, I hang out with my granddaughter and she's 7, so she's not a baby. I'm not carrying her around anymore, but we have so much fun together and we're in such a high vibration that I never feel tired after I'm with her. I get in her little play space, right? Like I just become a little kid and we color and draw and play and have so much fun together. So become a grandma. Kids are so much funner that way. They really are. I always say it's my gift to parenting. It really is. It's my gift for parenting, is this sweet little grandbaby who she can do no wrong and I can do no wrong. And we got a good thing going. She's coming to visit and I'm very excited in a couple of weeks. All right. So keep in mind, look at your return on investments, look at how you're giving your energy away, and make some strong and solid intentions and decisions for your life. This is your life. You don't owe anybody anything, and you can take your power back and you can set up your boundaries and you can start living a life that is more productive to the joy, to the love, to the gratitude, to the things that you actually want to live. You know, when you are not in gratitude, when you are in this little pity party, which I visited for a little bit yesterday, when you are in the pity party, you are not giving energy. You are not creating this cycle of energy. You're actually you're flat. And that flatness can never produce a high vibration. It can never produce the joy you're looking for. It can never produce the abundance you're looking for. So you got to start raising your vibration even incrementally, which is, I'm so grateful that I have this beautiful house to live in. I'm so grateful that I have a beautiful car to drive. And if you don't have those things, you've got to look at the small things and be grateful for the small things that you have. I'm grateful for this cup of coffee. I'm always so grateful for my coffee. So grateful. Whatever it is, the littlest, tiniest things, when you have gratitude, you have everything. And that's when your vibration starts to change. All right, you guys, that is my show for today. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Peace out.